Hello? Hello? Hello, hello? Is someone there? Hello, everybody. Good evening. I hope everyone's doing well. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight, chat? I'm back. And better than ever. Ah. Look at all this movement that I can do now. How are you guys liking my new model so far? Looking fresh? Thank you. Good to hear. Let me just show all of you, the differences between this model and my old one. Let me just switch the screen. Actually, my microphone is in my face, so it basically doesn't capture what I'm saying properly. Hold up. I forgot that if the microphone is right in my face, the capture is going to be a little bit wonky. Okay, better. Okay. Now watch this. Okay, how about now? It's a little bit loud because for some reason OBS just deleted my audio input capture. Like I'm like add existing things, and then it's like it was like no. Wow. So you guys didn't get to hear me say what I was saying, huh? About the other model. I was saying some very mean things. Like very mean. Extremely mean. I also said be gone, fool, for the old model because she's not needed anymore. Okay, let me show the whole thing in full. Actually, I should have used the other model too. It's blended out, but oh well. So see, my arms move now too. Previously they didn't. And my legs move now too. Look. When I go to the side. I have more range now too. And when I go down, my whole body moves with me. Like the movement goes low too. See? See, it goes low too. The only thing that changes is for some reason the camera reads my lips differently depending how I'm positioned. So if I suddenly frown, it's because of that. But most importantly, the skirt physics. Now, let me show the other updates that you people might like. Hold on. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this? Behold. I'm able to look angry now. Big angry. Big mad. I don't like the way you mashed on wake up. Rude! How absolutely rude! When Butler does stupid stuff. Yes, when Butler does really stupid shit. Now, I can also look like this. Wow! Wow, wow! Wow! Yes. Yes, Kitty, I'm sorry, I'm yelling. I shouldn't be yelling. I know, I shouldn't be yelling. I'm sorry, that's true. I had forgotten to mention that, that I can't be yelly. My cats reminded me not to yell. Kitty! Then I can also look like, oh, what did you say to me? What? Is that your boyfriend? Is that a man? A woman? Wow! A worm? Or a man? Oh! A what? Oh! Oh hey, thanks for resubscribing! Wow, thanks for resubscribing! Oh wow! Oh wait! Oh no! I saw a thing! Someone did a criminal thing, you guys. Like raw level 3 mid-block string? Who does that? Oh! A crime? And then... I can't believe you do this to me. No. That's so painful. Can't believe you'd wake up level 3 me on my safe jump. How rude. But wait guys, there's more. You thought that was the end of it? You thought that was all the expressions that I have? I got news for you. There's more. Now I can look smug without having to close my eyes for it. It's great. And if you think that's the end of it, there's two more. Like this one. When I'm unimpressed by shit that happens. Like, the rich people are going on and on and on about their inheritance, and Battler is going on 50 million years about the Schrödinger's cat. When is he going to make his next move? And when is this block string finally ending? When can I stop blocking in this game? It's just bad, you guys. But there's one more that I have. However, it's saved for a special occasion, which I'm not sure if it will happen in this stream, but to give you a hint, what's it going to be? Let me zoom real close for you. Oh my god! It's the demon butler! Oh no! Help! Send help! I can't! He's too beautiful! And that's the special occasion emoji. That's about all the expressions that I have. I hope you guys liked it. Oh yeah, also. My mouth is actually shaded now. Like, look at this. I have a tooth. I have a tooth. A fang. Ha. I will bite you. I will nummy you. I will numb you with evil intent, as a matter of fact. You don't get to say no. I will bite you whether you like it or not. One singular tooth indeed. Okay. That pretty much does it for the model review. I hope you guys liked it. And those who have been on my streams last week, you know there's another one coming, in which I can use this one as a template. It's coming soon. And before you ask about the other UP, the not which one, like, let's call it normal UP, normal P, normal P, yeah. She's dead. Gone. I killed her. The streams are mine now. They belong to me now. Okay. Without further ado, let me mute the music. Rest in heck, normal P. Yeah, she's dead. Okay, music is muted. Let me get Umineko up and running. Umineko! It's time to finally go back to the game board. It's been 50 million years. And I can't put my glasses back on now. Oh, I'm gonna get blind. And let me switch the screens. That damn cowboy in his window. Yeah. Down bad face activate. Oh wait. Where's the game? Not Henry Stickmin. Umineko, please. And it's large. Milady? A large? A large milady? And there we go. We got it. Where's the game? It's here. Load. Normally I give like a recap of what happened last time, but it's been like a month, and I don't remember that much what happened last stream other than I cried like a little baby. Like there was a lot going on with Rosa and Maria, and I was just crying like a little bitch baby. And Anje was salty, and like rich people are chasing rich people for money. And everyone is apparently dead. So let's see what the hell is going on now. Right, as a forewarning, I know I normally tend to be... Oh, wait, the music is not on. There we go. So here's the thing. Since I had gone on hiatus because of my voice, it's still not 100% on good condition. I mean, it's better now that I downed like a bunch of meds and tea. It's a lot better. However, I have to pay attention not to be loud so I don't flare it up again. So if I don't get very loud or yelly like I normally do, don't worry, I'm still very enthusiastic about what I'm reading and playing, and I still very much love Umineko. It's just I have to pay attention to spare my throat. You see, the more I spare my throat, the more I can read and the more I can stream, and I don't have to make more hiatuses, you see? But I hope with my new expressions you will see how enthusiastic I can get.
1987年4月のことです。
Luckily, half of this game is like voice, so I can actually get spared on reading, but there are sections in which it gets reading heavy.
私は友人からある奇妙な依頼を受けました。
Okay, what the hell is
とあ
this?
る大富豪の遺品である蔵書が大量に競売にかけられていて、
Did you see my last video, George lost his boat? I didn't. I think I didn't see that one. Shall we? I'll see it after the stream.
その一部に民族学的にも考古学的にも、
And yes,
あるいはオカルト的な
episode
意
4 in
味
the
でも極めて
Hi
価値の
Context.
高
I
いも
hope
の
you're
が
doing
含まれている
Context.
と
I hope
思
you're
われ
doing
る。
well. Sorry, I read your name wrong.
その価値を内密に見てほしいというのです。
87年
Oh, Anje, miss seeing you.
ロケン島での事件の半年後。
さようです。それらの蔵書はロッケン島での難を逃れたものと説明されていました。
Hold on, I think I have the music volume a bit too loud. Can't be louder than my own voice since I can't be yelly.
それを島の所有者である後宮エバ氏が競売に出したというのです。
Mm-hmm. What books are we talking about? This was apparently a high-class restaurant. A middle-aged man was sitting across from Anje in a secluded and quiet seat. Amakusa could be seen by the entrance. Ah, yes, the good boy, Amakusa. I like him. He's a good lad. He was probably keeping a lookout for pursuers from the Sumadera family. Yes, the other rich people. Or more like the other greedy people. Oh, I've seen you somewhere before, but I don't know where. The scholarly man across from Anje spoke politely, but with enthusiasm. He didn't lay a finger on the food in front of him, so you could tell how excited he was as he spoke fervently. He was a professor at a certain college, and particularly well known as an authority on Western folklore. However, among his life works, that was only a convenient exterior. His true life work was the study of occultism, Western magic, alchemy, and everything else to do with the occult, as well as demonology. Aho. Okay. In short, he was the person in the best position to understand the details of Kinzo's research. I think you would have been great friends. Oh, he got added to the BIOS, I see.
まず蔵書を鑑定して分かったことは、後宮江橋には民族学的な教養は全くなく、
Why does he look kinda sus? I don't trust him.
そしてその蔵書の本来の持ち主である後宮金蔵氏は、日本で五子に入る悪魔学の権威であったことは間違いないということです。
5 authorities on demonology? Is that a study degree? Can I switch my art degree to demonology? Since I have certified experience, as you guys all know. My boyfriend looks like Runove, and since it might be theorized that I summoned the demon in real life, I am an authority for demonology, right? Right? You guys agree? In April, in 1987, a majority city antique shop obtained a large quantity of ancient documents that were thought to have high historical value. He studied the cowboy in his window years, with hidden window ways. He certainly did. They were entrusted with them by Ushiromiya Eva, who wanted them to be sold at auction. At the time, it was thought that Eva would succeed the Ushiromiya family and have all the wealth to herself as the only survivor. However, at that point, not even a half year had passed since the accident, and the others had not been missing long enough to be presumed dead, even under extraordinary circumstances. Because of that, Eva had supposedly been in a very tight spot financially, unable even to collect on her family's life insurance. It seems she tried to sell everything of value. And even the books kept in the place where she escaped harm and Kuwadorian were used for this purpose. These old books, which would eventually be called the Ushiromiya Library, were later gathered from antique shops by authorities in the field so that they could be appraised. And those authorities were astounded.
少なくとも神秘学の見地から言えば、その発見が世界に与えた衝撃は司会文書発見にも匹敵するものでした。後宮蔵書にはなんと1000年以上にもわたる間。
I'm sorry I can't stop doing this. I'm just impressed by my own model's movement.
発見されていなかった数
so
々の
bouncy
極め
now.
て重要な文献さえ含まれていたからです。
The many dreams of the occult, such as the represented by alchemy, always stirred an intense fascination in the dilettantes. It is whispered that many magic books of great historical value, currently unknown to the public, might be in the secret possession of extremely wealthy lovers of the occult. Items such as Leonardo DiCaprio's notebooks. I'm sorry, I know it's Leonardo da Vinci. Very sorry. Items such as Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks, which are particularly popular among the dilettantes, are said to be prime examples of this. Ah, damn. They should be reading Leonardo DiCaprio books, if there are any. It is said that approximately 5,000 pages of these notebooks currently exist, and that over 10,000 have been lost. Oh, that sucks. But some researchers believe that a large part of this lost portion may be monopolized by certain enthusiasts and members of the extremely rich. Classic. It is said that because of this, even now, dilettantes who can't help but seek these spare no expense to search around for quietly hoarded away and unannounced notebooks. There is probably no doubting that Ushiromiya Kinzo was himself one of those dilettantes. I don't know how to pronounce this. How do you pronounce dilettantes? I can't help read it and think it's a Latin word, like a Portuguese, Spanish, or Italian word. It's probably pronounced differently, but you know, I'm kind of dummy. No one knows what Kinzo went through to obtain those, but there can be no mistake that he used his vast wealth freely, buying them off of other rich people with the same hobby as him. Those books, which were so valuable that enthusiasts could never satisfy the desire to hoard them away, were discovered in large numbers at the end of the 20th century. And their release to the public had given the entire world a massive shock. You guys know what I just had in my mind? Kinzo having a Twitter account, I think he would be the fiercest debater in Twitter. Like, he quote retweets anything and everything and writes at least 50 tweets of essays roasting the shit out of you about how you know nothing about the occult.
この一件により、ロッキン島の名は全世界に知れ渡ることになります。
And he would also run the Beatrice.txt bot account. And it only has cringe texts. While the real Beatrice has her own account and she keeps dunking on the Beatrice.text account. She hacks it. She probably hacks it outright. And it's like, Beatrice has hacked this account.
そして同時に、ロッキン島の事故によって、
Like, she hacks the account, the Beatrice.text account, and just writes, Kinzo is smelly, and then logs off.
これにより、ロッキン島と後宮蔵書の名は、我々にとって生涯忘れないものとなったのです。
Our memories? That our parliamentary occult, the neck of the woods, with the same hobby as Kinzo. 5D chess right there. Right here, yeah, indeed. Beatrice is good at chess. Because of that incident, the name of Rokkenjima had taken on a vital meaning in the world of the occult. There certainly had been a lot of reporting about the accident on Rokkenjima itself, but not on an international level. However, this one part had spread across the world, taking the image of Rokkenjima, a small island in the Izu archipelago, and painting it over as demonic island where riddles, suspicions, mystery, and the occult met. You can kind of tell I haven't read in a very long time out loud because I'm being kind of silly reading. I promise when I go monotone it's because my brain is processing things. In other words, until Kinzo's library was leaked to the public by Eva, Rokkenjima had been merely a nameless island that no one could remember. And certainly not the island of a witch. Oh. However, when knowledge of the Ushirimiya library spread all over the planet, Rokkenjima's image immediately took on an occult twist. Rokkenjima... Why do I have the immediate image of Kinzo being like that corporate CEO that gives each of his family members and servants an NDA that they must sign? That they're like, you cannot talk about Rokkenjima in any way outside the island. People are not supposed to be aware of this island.
そして、そこへ起こるのが例のメッセージボトル事件です。
And then Eva leaks it and Kinzo is rolling in his grave.
これがあの島を
Message
魔女
bottle.
の島に変えた。
Anje didn't talk about the message bottle before, didn't she?
伊豆諸島の無名の小島がオカルトの島へ、そして謎の魔女ベアトリーチェの島へと変遷していったのです。後宮蔵書とメッセージボトル、このどちらが欠けてもロッケン島魔女伝説は成り立たなかったと言えます。
Sorry, I was finishing drinking my throat coat. This should help me preserve my throat while I read.
はい。
But I still have to be careful. I can't yell. I already yelled enough tonight.
という不特定対象への通信方法です。無人島から SOS を発信するというのが有名ですが、海外の有名推理小説の影響で。
Didn't Maria leave a message that was found at the epilogue, or more like in the after credits of episode 1? Is that the message bottle that they're talking about?
自らの死後に真実を告白するという時間差的な遺書としても知られるようになりました。ロッケン島メッセージボトル事件はまさにこの後者だったのです。
Though I don't remember.
近くの島の漁師が拾っていたというやつですね。
Oh, I just realized I had forgotten to show in my model update that my eyes now have like a jiggle effect when I open my eyes, like. Can you see it? Even from a small distance, you can kind of see it. I forgot to show it. I'm sorry. I got so overexcited. Oh, fuck. Sorry. The model review was a little bit shorter than I intended, but I am working on a dime here. I mean, not on a dime, sorry, on a short time.
さようです。式に島の若い漁師が手紙入りのワインボトルを拾っていたことが分かったのです。
A young fisherman on Shikinejima. Okay.
この若い漁師は興味本位からそれをたまたま保管していました。
Oh.
それが後宮蔵書で六軒島が世界的注目を浴びたため公表したというのです。
その漁師による捏造の可能性は？
もちろんその可能性も否定できませんでした。
So there's like no proof.
ワインボトル内のノート片には後宮家のとある人物の署名がされていました。
Oh, and they have no handwriting samples to compare, huh?
後宮マリアという少女です。
Oh! Oh! So it was the bottle from Maria from episode 1. I see.
しかし、彼女の遺品の肉質から別人の筆跡であることが確認されました。
Oh, never mind. Maybe it's the same letter, but it might be that someone wrote in Maria's name when it wasn't the case?
別人の筆跡？
さようです。少なくとも少女より達筆で年齢のある人物によって書かれたことは疑いようがないでしょう。彼女の名を語った何者かが執筆した可能性が極めて高かったのです。
Okay.
よってこの時点ではノート片の内容の信憑性は薄いと考えられました。
Who could have written the letter then? They probably compared to every Ushiromiya family member, so... However, later on it was confirmed that a similar message bottle that had been recovered from the nearby ocean on the day of the accident by the police in the search for lost articles, and this caused a sensation. There were more?
警察は現場の状況とボトルの封印状況から捏造の可能性は低く、事故直前の数日以内に投棄したものと判断したようです。また双方の筆跡は一致しました。これにより漁師の発見したノート片の信憑性が増すこととなりました。
But couldn't it be just fake? Like multiple
メッ
fakes?
セージボトルの内容については週刊誌などが繰り返し報道しているようですが、説明がいりますかな？
The question would be, what handwritings have they compared? Is it only the Ushiromiya family, or did they compare it to the handwritings of the servants who were present during the mystery?
いいえ。
Because if they only investigated the Ushiromiya family, then there could be a possibility that maybe it was one of the servants that wrote the bottles, right? That could be a
一応知って
possibility.
いますので。
Many scraps of paper had been stuffed into both of the wine bottles. It was extensive notebook written by someone calling themselves Ushiromiya Maria, who wasn't Maria, and which told of the events starting off the day before the accident up until the day of the accident in a diary-like way. Oh, I just realized the coffee button is in the way. Let me just put it elsewhere. Let's put it over here in the top, where it doesn't disturb the reading as much. Okay. As well as the Golden Witch Beatrice's puzzle. Oh, they included the witch's epitaph.
には台風で島に釘付けにされた後宮家の親族たちが魔女復活の儀式に巻き込まれ、次々に不可解な方法で殺されていく様子が記されていました。
I wonder if those are different parts of the message?
そして最後に黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが蘇り、まるでそれこそが当日の全容であるかのように記されていました。
Oh, a story from start to finish, huh?
また当時の島の状況についても非常に詳しく描写されており、後宮家に勤務したことがある元の使用人たちは間違いなく内部に詳しい人間が書いたに違いないと証言しました。
So definitely one of the characters that we know has written this letter, right? So
その
a participant in these crimes.
後ろ宮蔵書以降のオカルト
I mean, not participant, but more like participant in these events, not necessarily the crime.
そして結局は真相は闇の中という3つが合わさり六軒島の魔女伝説を生み出したと。
さようです。すでに10年以上が経過した事件ですが、未だに世界のオカルトマニアの関心を集めています。いや、むしろ時間を得てますますに深刻化されたと言っていい。
Increasingly
上陸禁
defined.
止になっている六軒島に密かに上陸しようというマニアも未だに多いとか。
The island is straight up forbidden.
未だ未発見のメッセージボトルが
That
あ
might
る
have
の
been
で
a
はない
fact that I
か。
forgot.
そしてあの日、あの島で本当は何があったのか。未だに議論はつきませんとも。
As though he had finally remembered that he'd been going on and on for some time, this man took a gulp of water, which I should do too. His pockets were getting cold, but it seemed that the man's hunger had already been blown away.
確か漁師のノート編と警察のノート編で内容が全く違うと聞きました。
Stay hydrated, folks. Don't be like me. I mean, I stay hydrated, but still. If I talk too much and drink, it doesn't do much for my throat.
このせいで六軒島ミステリーはさらに面白みが増したのです。2つのボトルの中身はどちらも事故前日から当日までを記した日記風の式です。しかしその内容は共に前日から当日を記した内容であり、にもかかわらず
Yuppie, you look fabulous. Thank you. And hi, Mibio. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well.
まるでどちらかが真実で、どちらか
I'm
が
glad you think I look fabulous. What if WTF? It's Ed Live is now following. Thank you for the follow. I hope you enjoy your stay.
あるいは両方とも虚偽なのかもしれない。
Wait, what was this about? However, while both of their contents described the same 2-day period, they were completely different. Okay. Umineko! Yes, Umineko! I'm finally continuing with it after a long while.
始まりと終わりだけは一致するのです 始まりは親族たち18人が大気に島に閉じ込められた
My design is Umineko inspired. I was too powerful, so I conjured myself onto this plane to spread the Umineko word, the good Umineko word, you see, because everybody should read this.
そして終わりは全員が死に黄金の魔女が蘇り
I'm great. I'm gonna watch you play while you finish your work. Oh, okay. What you working on, Amibio? The contents of both message bottles wrote about the events of the day before the accident and the day of the accident. But the details were completely different. Both diaries outline a serial murder following the epitaph of the witch, but the order of the sacrifices, the way they died, and even the tale of the 2 days were different. However, in both, everyone died in the end and the witch revived, making for the same general plot. Oh?
あの島で何があったのか唯一の生存者である後宮エバ氏が沈黙していた以上あの2日間の出来事は全てが闇の中です
I wonder if these message bottles entail the events of the game boards we have seen thus far. Because they have been entirely different to each other, right?
こともあろうか2つの提示してみせたのですどちらの日記でも2日間を説明できるしかしどちらが正しいのかあるいは正しいことが含まれているのかさえわからないのです
Schrödinger's cat box. If it isn't denied, even a mixture of truth and fiction can be the truth. Through the media, these scraps of paper had of course been shown as to Eva as well. She never broke her silence.
誰が何のためにメッセージボトルを
That's a good way to ask why.
事件10周年特集を組んだ雑誌が以前大々的に取り上げたでしょう。
Depending what's written on them, I could make a guess who it was.
あの仮説が今日では最も支持を集めているようです。
If the messages describe events entirely different from the game boards we had so far, I would think there's someone else behind it, but if it's exactly as how we see the game board thus far, I would assume a real version of Beata wrote it, but the question is who represents Beatrice then?
あの島であの日何が起こったのか、それを考えるのがウィッチハントの醍醐味なのです。
Because if the whole point of Battler's battle is to prove she's not real, how do we explain the message
ウィ
models?
ッチハント
I mean, if they are written exactly as they are on the game board. If not, then I could imagine it was
この
someone
事
else.
件の真相をオカルトの側面から説明しようと試みるマニアの集いのことです。
Either that or it's the true culprit that we're trying to find.
後ろ宮蔵書から謎の2日間、そして黄金の魔女の伝説など六軒島に関わる謎は今でもマニアの間で盛んに議論されているのです。10周年の時にはニューヨークで国際コンベンションも開かれました。
In New York?
私も日本の代表として参加してきましてね。
Is it that much of a
海外
worldwide
の熱心なウィ
phenomenon?
ッチハンターと様々な交流をしてきましたよ。
Witch hunters
海外
overseas.
では魔女はとても人気のあるカテゴリーでしてね。
Witches are a very popular category overseas. Yeah,
参加者
yeah,
の
they
年
are.
齢幅も下は小学生から上は著名な文化人まで実に幅広い。
I mean, have you looked at Europe's history?
日本でも近年ようやく
You probably don't need any more explanation, but he's one of the most famous Rokkenjima witch hunters in Japan. Witch hunters, I am in danger. Even though I didn't ask anything more, but he kept continuing on excitedly all by himself. Oh, how relatable that is. As I swirled the thin film on my pottage with my spoon, I shrugged my shoulders and sighed. Looks like researching about the message bottle really was a waste of time. Maria, help us. Baby, help us! No, if there's one thing I found, it's that the notebook supposedly written by Maria One-chan was actually written by a different person faking her name. And that person wrote up an occult legend on their own, put it into the bottle as though it was the truth, and threw it into the sea. I have a question. Why would they go all the trouble of writing so much in order to prepare a suspicious letter like that? With a message bottle, there'd be no guarantee that it ever passed into anyone's hands. I don't know, a hobby? If the luck had been bad, it could have sunk in the ocean, never to be seen by anyone. And even if someone had picked it up, they might not cared about it and thrown it away. Why would they entrust their confession of the truth to the sea with such an uncertain method? And why would they write up multiple differing tales? I don't know, to schmix us? If there'd been one message bottle claiming that it's a story, the truth might be reckless but not impossible. However, because there were two, that made both of them doubtful. If someone was plotting to make out these 2 days to the work of a witch, then they really did go one step too far. And because there were two, it suggested an undiscovered third one, or possibly even more, might exist. In other words, the 2 differing contents make both of them harder and harder to swallow. What you eating? I'm just, well, I have strawberries on the side, but right now I'm just not really eating, more like, sucking, licking down? I don't know. I have, a throat candy in my mouth. More like throat medicine candy, but you get the gist. It's more or less just to protect my throat as I read. No. But despite that, the contents of both matched in that they told a witch in a tale. So is that the main point the writer wanted to get across to us? It seemed to me that the only possible explanation is that someone who wanted to give rise to an illusion of a wish carried out this crime for their own enjoyment. Snacking. Yeah, I'm snacking on a throat candy. However, the 17 other people other than Aunt Ella lost their lives, and a vast wealth, or maybe even 10 tons of gold, had moved around secretly in the darkness. It doesn't feel right for a confession occurring after all that to bring up illusions of the witch. Even if we ignore the magazine's theories, it's very doubtful that the message bottle really was a diary. After all, the amount of writing was massive. It's hard to imagine that someone actually caught up in the middle of a serial murder like that would be able to calmly write it down. Good point. In that case, it's probably more realistic that this diary was written slowly over a long period of time up until the day prior to the accident. In that case, would it mean that everything in Rokkenjima was a planned crime with everything prepared for over a long stretch of time? Maybe. Maybe. The fact that Aunt Eva left this world without saying anything is infuriating. Well, she took the secrets to the grave with her. She definitely said it on her deathbed. She definitely said that her reason for not telling me the truth was because it was her best way of harassing me. Well, by now it's painfully obvious. Of all things Aunt Eva did to harass me, this was probably the last and the greatest. But thinking of it this way, it's probably doubtful that Aunt Eva is the true culprit. Of course, that's not because the handwriting on the message bottle was different from Aunt Eva's or anything like that. It's because in both tales that were discovered, Aunt Eva was included among the victims. Okay, so let me see. In episode 1, Eva died with Hideyoshi, and in episode 2, she died right on the first night. So I do, and then believe more and more that the message bottles are based on the game boards after all. If the writer of that diary was the culprit, maybe Aunt Eva was also one of the targets to be killed. Maybe Aunt Eva survived because something went wrong. Because I hated Aunt Eva, I came to believe that she had to be the culprit. But the existence of the message bottle makes me suspect that the mastermind is far more profound and unknown person than her. I wonder who it could be. Like, non-sarcastically, genuinely. I looked at the clock. I've heard more than enough. It's time. Sorry. I choked on my own candy. As I continued to speak fervently, it suggested that I wanted to bring this discussion to a close. He seemed to be aware that he'd gotten excited and talked too much, so he quickly accepted this.
今日は本当にありがとうございました。貴重なお話が聞けたと思います。
いえいえ、ウィッチハントの新しい仲間に若いお嬢さんを迎えできて本当に楽しかったです。今日は歌詞を変えてしまったのでお見せできなかった貴重な資料がいくつもあります。次の機会の時にはぜひそれをお見せしましょう。
My God, he
ありがとう先生。
he is like the embodiment of that meme with the what's he called again? The actor who's gonna play Luigi in that upcoming Mario movie with like the conspiracy board on the side. You know the one? I just imagine this guy being the same.
最後に聞いてもいいですか？
はい、何でしょうか。
先生はどうして魔女に、いえ、神秘学や悪魔学に興味を？
Because the witches and the demons are sexy.
それを言われると恥ずかしい。
Is it because you're sexy? Am I right?
力が使えたなら、意地悪なガキ大将にも負けないのに。という子供の頃の妄想が、そのままライフワークになってしまっただけです。
The power of coping mechanisms, I see.
未知なる力への憧れというプリミティブな願望は、今も昔も普遍的ですからな。
Very much can relate, sir. Understandable.
先生はなれるものなら魔女になりたいですか？思うがままに魔法を使ってみたいという夢を今も？
Yes. I do
も
at
ちろん
least.
ですとも。
Yes! This guy has the right.
この年になり、 そういうものが実在しないと理屈では分かっていても、それでもなお空を飛んでみたい、鉄くずを黄金に変えてみたいという子供のような夢は忘れられずにいます。
Yes, I support him. He is like in his 50s or 60s and he's pursuing his dreams and imagination. All adults should be like this.
学生たちにはどうか内密に。
私が実は魔女だと言ったらお信じになります？
He's gonna be like, no.
女は魔女であるというのが私のささやかな女性経験からの持論です。
Witches. Are you sure you don't want to replace that V with a B? Is that what you're not possibly thinking? I do hope you think all of us are witches. And don't switch the letter with a B. Anne just nodded at the old professor, who must have been an earnest scholar with barely any experience with women.
そうそう。
What a roast.
最後にもう一つだけ質問を。
He's like, have you ever spoken to a woman?
先生はメッセージボトルの実物をご覧になったことは？
ありますとも。
では、その筆跡についてもお詳しいですか？
もちろん、その道の専門家ではありませんが、メッセージボトルの筆跡に関してだけは日本で最も詳しいと自負していますとも。
Mm-hmm. Actually, is she gonna show the diary? At that point, Anja set a book on the desk with a
こ
thought.
れは
Hmm.
初めて見るものです。
Is it? Oh, it's Maria's diary. He prided himself on his thorough knowledge of all literature related to Rokkenjima, and he looked bewildered at this binding that he hadn't seen before. Ignoring him, Anja silently flipped through the pages, opened to one of them, and showed him. On that page was a handwritten paragraph beginning with, "To my beloved witch apprentice." And at the end there was a signature in katakana that said, "Beatrice." Oh!
それは。
The instant he glanced at it, his face went pale. She knew the answer before asking, but Anja asked it aloud anyway.
このページに記されている文章の筆跡はメッセージボトルの筆跡と一致しますか？
Is my thought gonna be correct after all? The thought that I threw out?
いや、持ち帰って詳しく調べない方には失礼だが、この本は一体どこに？
The man stretched out his hand, but Anja pulled it back, as though telling him not to touch it with his filthy hands. Yes, it's Maria's diary. No touchy.
ありがとう。
No touchy touchy. Maria's diary only.
その反応だけで結構です。今日はありがとうございました。
Okay, so the person who wrote the bottles was Beatrice, or whoever her real life equivalent might be. As she stood up, clutching Maria's diary, Anja carelessly tossed a wad of 10,000 yen notes wrapped in a strip of paper onto the table like slam cash. As Anja turned her back to him and made to leave, the man raised his voice as though clinging to her, but Anja didn't stop walking. Walk.
お願いだ。その本は一体。謝礼はいらない。その本を見せてくれ。
No.
私とあなたはウィッチハントの同志だけど、求める深さが違うみたい。あなたが楽しんでるのは猫箱の外側、そして私が知りたいのは猫箱の内側。
Basically, she wants the truth.
そしてこの一冊はその猫箱を開く鍵ね。あなたには過ぎてるわ。じゃあね。Goodbye, gentlemen. Have a nice day.
I love it.
待ってくれ。スマデラさん。
Did he really call her Sumadera-san? His voice didn't reach her. She had already joined up with Amakusa and gone into the car. Why did he call Anja Sumadera?
収穫はありましたか？
Is it possible that Sumadera has already, like, I don't know, officialized without Anja's consent that she adopted her?
最後の最後にね。やっぱりそうだった。メッセージボトルを記したのはベアトリーチェ本人だった。
Mm-hmm. Or someone who claims to be her.
魔女は実在するで決着で
Oh, Amakusa is such a good boy. I adore him.
寝ていい？
Yes, sleep.
あのおしゃべり教授、きっと講義では自分の世界に入っちゃって寝ちゃう子続出だと思うわ。
どうぞどうぞお休みを
She's the type to fall asleep in class, huh?
しかしうまくいくもんね。あいつ私のことスマデラだと最後まで信じてたわ。
Oh, she tricked him. Okay, smart girl. Sumadera family had set up a web beforehand around any people Anja might try to contact. They had offered a reward to anyone who would take Ushinomiya Anja into custody if she appeared. Anja had foreseen that and had snatched it away. Ha! Smart girl. She had called herself Sumadera, and after cleverly tricking the man by saying her own subordinates would set up an ambush, so he didn't need to worry about it. She had taken him outside. So when the Utumadera family pursuers reached the professor's house, there was no longer anyone
家
there.
人の話では午前中にスマデラを名乗る若い男女が訪れ教授を連れ出したきりまだ帰宅しないそうです。裏を書かれた可能性が。
いけない子ね、エンジェちゃんは。
Let her go!
そういう悪知恵、姉さんの血なのかしらね。あんなに名乗るのは嫌だと言ってたスマデラの名を気安く名乗ってくれちゃうなんて。
Listen up, witch. You don't shit talk Kirie in this house. She's amazing and I love her.
そのうち教授もお戻りになるだろうさ。そしたらソチャでも振る舞わないとね。
You mean kill him?
はっ了解しました。
私を手玉に取ったつもりかしら。やんちゃな子なんだから。
With a demonic look on her face, Kasumi violently stamped her heel. Man, she is detestable. I think she's a detestable woman. I'll teach you about my magic of origins. No, I taught you before, right? And you used it before. Did you forget? You were also a witch apprentice, Anje, with your name entered into my mariage sorcière, weren't you? I can't read French very well, I'm sorry.
私も魔女に加えてもらったんだっけ。
I closed Maria's diary and plopped down on a very high-class looking bed. I generally want to touch that record button on her forehead. I want to punch it. I slept deeply for a long time in the car, so it took longer than usual for drowsiness to set in, and I read the diary as I waited. This was the super expensive hotel in the city. Since it was often used by the rich and the famous, they were very big on confidentiality. That made it very convenient for Anja to escape her pursuers. The idea that renegades should spend their nights hiding in cheap hotels is a commoner's way of thinking. Wow, thanks. Sorry for being poor. To Anja, who possessed all the wealth of the Yoshiramiya family, renegade life was comfortable indeed. So, of course, even though he was a guard, Amakusa was a man and therefore in a separate room. Anja used the bedroom of the suite and Amakusa lay on the sofa in the living room. That sounds cozy. Sounds more expensive than my own apartment. According to Amakusa, the sofas here were more pleasant than his own beds had been recently. Poor guy. Sucks, doesn't it? Not being rich? When I looked at the clock, I saw that it was almost 2 in the middle of the night. I'm still not getting sleepy. I sighed deeply. At that time, even though there was no wind, I had the feeling that Marionette-chan's joy diary fluttered. Baby! The baby! It's the baby! Look at her! Then Onetchan appeared. Her form was no longer the normal one I'd known. She was wearing the dress that Beatrice had given her after acknowledging her as a witch. She looks so cute! I love that outfit so much.
もう寝ないと明日が辛いよ。
Maria is amazing. I love her so much. Wrong. Wrong emoji. There we go. I wanted to turn off my sparkles and I accidentally activated another one.
魔法が使えるのよね。
うん。イエイ。使えるよ。教えてあげたでしょ。使い方。昔は使えたはずだよ。
覚えてる。使いたくなった。
寂しくなった？
別に。毎日枕が違うくらいのことで辛くなんてならないわ。
魔法の最初の一歩は寂しいからとか退屈だからとか、そのくらいのささやかな理由でいいの。
眠くなるまでの暇つぶしだとしても。
うん。エンジェがもう一度魔法のことを思い出してくれて、マリアは嬉しい。
Aww. It's so sweet. It's been quite a long time since I last used magic. At one point with Mario Nechan's introduction, I touched the corner of it and opened the door a tiny bit, so I should still remember that sensation.
今のエンジェはかなり魔法の力が衰えてる。基本に忠実じゃないと難しいよ。
うん。四方を確認。
Oh.
静かな空間を確認。
天草さんは？
寝てるわ。
After opening the door to the living room a crack, I could see the blanket caterpillar on the sofa roll over in its sleep.
今のエンジェの弱い魔力では半魔法力の影響を受けすぎる。人の姿だけじゃない。声も音も気配さえもエンジェの魔法の邪魔をする。それらを完璧に立って古代魔術師たちがアトリエを閉ざして孤独を守ったように。
覚えてるわ。
Basically, complete isolation and silence to concentrate, I see.
人間の存在自体が魔法を妨げる。故に人に魔法を見せるということそのものがとても高位な魔女の証だったわね。
I mean, you can't just go all talking to people that others can't see, unfortunately. Obtain a quiet space for yourself alone. That should be enough to prepare a space to use magic.
次によりしろ。今のエンジェには自転車の補助輪、いえチェーンくらい大事。
これは当然無理よね。
Anja rubbed her own head. She wore hair accessories there with pink gems attached. They felt a little childish for Anja, but she never took them off, not even for a single day.
うん。今のエンジェにはとても無理。あの日から一日も休むことなく修行していたなら、あるいは今頃は呼び出すことができたかもしれないね。
今から修行したらどのくらいかかるの？
魔女の修行は幼き日の1年が老いの10年と同じ価値があると言われてる。
10 years of practice, owie!
相当の覚悟がいるよ。
それこそ後ろ宮金蔵くらいに？ピアノもバイオリンも魔法も幼い頃からの英才教育が大事なのね。
Well, it's a skill that takes
今のエン
practice,
ジ
I
ェ
guess.
は初めて魔法を使えた時よりもその力が落ちている。無理をしないで基本に忠実に。
The struggles of having to be normal, I guess. After stubbornly rubbing those things on my head one more time, I gave up. Then I started fishing through the knapsack, looking for anything that might make a good vessel.
これならよりしろにはぴったりじゃない？
懐かしい。うん。それならば今のエンジェでも召喚できると思うよ。それには今主がいない。
We have no
エ
master
ンジェ
now.
が新しい主になるのも可能なはず。
Among the things that looked like good vessels, I took the one that I thought might possess the strongest magical power, and set it on the side table near the bed of the crater. It was a shady-looking stake-shaped weapon with an occult design inscribed on it. Oh, is she gonna summon one of the sisters? Oh yeah, it is! It was one of the 7 stakes of purgatory, which the witch used to offer sacrifices. When the police had been searching the family's possessions, they had collected a large amount of junk. After the investigation had finished, these had been politely returned to the Yoshinomiya family. Finding something that I'd seen in the picture of Maria's diary, I took it home with me.
煉獄の七杭はもともと7本で一揃いだった。
Is it only gonna be one?
気の毒にね。
Hey, remember when you killed my family? Good times.
今はもう彼女一本だけ。
She's the only one left. Which one is it gonna be? Onichan smiled, looking lonely. I pulled another book out of the knapsack. This was also old-fashioned, and you could tell that it was an occult book just by looking. But its contents were plain. It was one of Maria Nechan's elaborate notebooks. This wasn't a diary. This was a grimoire which she had written as a witch. The 7 Stakes of Purgatory are Beatrice's furniture, created by her and employed only for her sake. But since Beatrice is also witch of Mariage Sorcière, they could be employed by Maria, a witch of the same alliance. For that reason, the method of summoning the 7 Stakes of Purgatory and how to handle them was written about in great detail in Maria Nechan's grimoire. And, as another person with their name registered in that alliance, I was also permitted to employ them. Oh! This is cool. Which of the sisters?
マリアの魔導書に彼女らの特徴がよく記されてるよ。七杭の姉妹は名前を間違えられることをとても嫌う。
Imagine she summons like Belphegor, and then she's like, "Oh, hi, Lucifer."
召喚する前によく彼女らの名前を思い出して。
A packed page told of the 7 Stakes of Purgatory. It described the 7 sisters in great detail. Yes, I think I memorized almost this entire page once in the past. The more I read it, the more I start to remember. By pictures and characteristics written on the grimoire, I could tell that the stake in my hand was Mammon's stake. Ooh, Mammon. In the past, if I hadn't had any stakes, I'd summon them without any vessel. So this was the first time I'd clearly seen any of the 7 stakes, let alone Mammon.
マモン、五女、7つの大罪の強欲を司る。
Ooh!
すごい子よね。
強欲は向上心、上昇志向、生きる強さなども司る。
We haven't really seen Mammon in big action yet, right?
決して悪い意味だけではないんだよ。口は悪いけど、とても頑張り屋さんな子だし。
I like that Maria has a positive way to see greed because this is more a bit on the personal side, but most of you know that I'm an artist and I'm trying to make a living based on my own content. This includes things like my VTuber model and my content in streams and all. But I am an artist first and foremost, and oh man, being an artist, you just get hit with the oh, artists are so greedy for asking for money take, like, I'll bet someone who is going to look at all of my coffee donation button over there for like, and then be like, oh, you're so greedy, all you want is money, and I'm like, someone has to pay rent, you know? We have to pay for shit to live. So I felt that. And I like that Maria has a positive take on greed, because greed doesn't have to be bad, you know? Sometimes we just are greedy so that we can live properly.
そうね。
I try really hard too.
欲がないってことは、つまり生きてる理由がないってことだし。
Exactly. For a while, I heightened my concentration and digested information that was written about Mammon. The more the summoner knows about the target that's being summoned, the better. Knowledge is connected to magical power. I began to fill my head with knowledge about Mammon, raising a necessary amount of magical power for a summoning.
魔導書ってちょっとだけ面白いわね。下手くそな小説を読むよりよっぽど面白いかもしれない。
Some light novel.
なんだか懐かしい気持ちになるわ。
魔導書はただ文字を読み取るだけじゃなく、行間から世界を膨らませたり、挿絵から世界を生み出したりと、様々な想像を要求されるの。生み出す力。これを持つエンジェになら、どんな本よりも魔導書は面白いはずだよ。エンジェになら理解できるって、マリアはずっと知ってたもの。
Creating things is a lot of fun, I have to agree. As an artist, I create a lot of characters and designs, and that's a power incomparable to anything else.
マモンの知識、これで十分だと思うわ。うん。だいたい蘇った。やってみる。
I mean, if I didn't draw, if I didn't create things, I wouldn't be here.
しっかりね。いざという時に備えて、私の護符を。
The
今
talisman?
の君は同盟の条約に守られてない。マモンは少し喧嘩っ早いところがある子。あるいはまだ恨んでるかも。
May bear a grudge.
うん。身につけることにする。
The 7 sticks of purgatory, as furniture used to make sacrifices for a ceremony, were created as beings inferior even to weapons. But that was only when compared to other demons. To humans, furniture is something to be feared. I fished through the knapsack again, took out a bracelet charm with a scorpion medal that I'd gotten from Marionne-chan long ago and put it on my arm. In the past, I hadn't needed something like this, but I need insurance.
大丈夫。それにはまだ十分な魔法防御が備わってる。それを身につけている限り絶対に大丈夫。
Oh, the much loved bracelet. I want one like that. But that would burn my arm off, wouldn't it? Well, I can hang it and look at it. Marionne-chan's magic power, which had been specifically put into this charm, had been enough to earn even Beatrice's admiration. While it may have looked like something cheap to a human who couldn't understand magic, its magical worth was incalculable.
さあさあ、おいでなさい。罪を許しなさい。煉獄の七杭が一つ。強欲のマモン。
Woo! It's time! I focused my mind. I made the magic repelling toxin that filled my body zero. Imagine an unattained vast space. Doubts and common sense all resist magic. Make the resistance zero and erase the burden on the magical power. Inside my head was the image of a vast space. It was a nighttime world where I floated in the air and the neon stars over the ground sparkled. A world where the stars that should have covered the sky were wiped away by the light from below that covered the ground. In a world of vast night sky with no obstructions. I imagined the wind blowing through at will. At that time, in a room where there shouldn't have been any wind, the free nighttime wind picked up a cyclone. The long-forgotten sensation raced through my entire body. It was the unique feeling of exhilaration that comes from using magic. Mammon's stake, which I held out in my hand, gradually began to make me feel a pale light. A twisting cyclone with the stake at the center. The hefty stake floated up a bit in the air.
見事だよ。ブランクは君から才能を奪わなかったね。
Ooh.
さあさあ、おいでなさい。罪を許しなさい。
The power of
煉獄の七
imagination.
杭の一つ。その姿を私に見せなさい。
After I raised my hands bit by bit, lifting them higher than my head, as though it had been attracted upwards, Mammon's stake once again floated up high into the air and gradually began to shake. That shaking began to grow faster. And it burst. Uh-oh! With a speed faster than the eye could follow, it flew around, violently rebounding off the walls of the room. The terrible sound of it dancing around threatened to make me flinch. However, I must not lose my mental concentration. Oh, it's the shield, huh? Then the stake, which had been flying around at an incredible speed, finally stopped and faced me. It was in the air, just a few centimeters away from my forehead, and held back by the defensive barrier created by the scorpion charm. It had tried to break the defensive barrier, eating into it with an incredible power. Marionne-chan's barrier wouldn't be broken so easily.
無理か。食い破れない。
The stake muttered hatefully. It was probably safe to say that the scorpion charm saved me. Without that, my attempt at killing time until I got sleepy would have killed my time for all eternity. Ooh! Yeah, it's right. We haven't really seen Mammon in action before. She had had scenes before. And she is cute. Oh, I'm excited to see more of her. When my mistake realized that it was unable to gouge me, it gave up and grew docile, changing its form from that of a steak into a human. In that same old outfit that I'd never be able to walk around outside in. Yeah, showing full butt, nobody could do that unless you were in the beach. Although you could say it suited her in a demonic sort of way. Ooh!
随分とみすぼらしい魔力だけど、
That's a new track.
本当に園児様？
She recognizes her. That's so cute.
元気にしてた？
てっきりもう約5面の数は何度で朽ち果てるだけだと思ってました。それでこれはどういう余興で？まさか私の所有者が園児様とでもおっしゃるつもりで？
She's like, let me sleep.
うん。園児が君の主人だよ。
マリア教、これはお見苦しいところ。先ほどの結界はマリア教の。
うん。今の園児じゃひょっとしたら君にやられてしまうかもしれないって思ったからご符を貸したの。
Imagine wanting to summon a snake and then you get killed by it. Or more like you try to imagine something and summon something through it and then your imagination grows an arm and stabs you.
マリア教に私の主人が園児様だと言われたんじゃ。
Yes, Maria is the authority here.
園児様、何なりとご命令を。私が必要とされるということは、新しい儀式を、新しい生贄を、もっとも私を使いこなし、自らの手を汚す程度の覚悟が終わりならの話です。
Handle me yourself and get your own hands dirty. Uh-huh.
その役割は私はもう求めてないわ。昔同様にただ話し相手になってくれるだけで十分。
Start with that nice on. Yes.
ええ、それがお望みでしたら。
Oh, they're gonna have a chat. That's cute.
使われてこそ家具。お呼び出しいただいただけで光栄ですとも、園児様。
Maman had a slightly complicated smile on her face. She accepted her new master because Maria had told her to, but it looked like she hadn't gotten over her discontent at working for Anje with her frail magical power. Perhaps she had some other reason for hating Anje. But for now, it seemed that she couldn't disobey, even if she wasn't happy about it.
それで、私は何をすれば？
I like this track. It's pretty nice. I think it's a music box arrangement from an existing track. Because it sounds familiar.
わからない。適当に賑やかにしてくれればいいわ。昔みたいに。
お言葉ですが、多分園児様がおっしゃる賑やかさとは、私たち姉妹の騒ぎのことだと思います。私一人では難しいかと。お忘れで？
そうだね。七姉妹はみんなが揃うと本当に賑やかだったもんね。でも今の園児の魔力じゃマモンを呼び出すのが精一杯だと思う。他の6人の悔いも紛失してる。
恐れながらマリア教、私の悔いを経由し、七姉妹に語りかけ、呼び出すことは不可能ではないかと。
Oh?
私を刺激されるのでしたら、その程度の力は園児様にはお持ちいただきたいところですが。
Maman grinned. Apparently she wanted me to summon the other sisters without a vessel. I see. Since she's unable to satisfy herself with being summoned alone, she's asking for the other sisters to be summoned as well. I get it. Greed. Yeah, she was like this back then, wasn't she? The furniture, the times during which they are used are bliss. No matter how badly they are exploited, being used is furniture's joy. On the contrary, regardless how nice you are to them, not being given a job is more painful than anything in their eyes. Maman spoke in a challenging way, but she wanted me to summon the other sisters somehow and rescue them from the world of nothingness. If that's the case, all she's gotta do is say so. These demon people can never just say what they mean. Demon people just never say what they mean. Yeah. Man, they just can never be completely honest. They're always so passive aggressive.
無理しないで。マモンを呼び出せただけでリハビリには十分だよ。
あら、一人だけでリハビリになっちゃうの？どうせ暇つぶしよ。いいわ、マモン。乗りかかった船だわ。
Fuck, it's not stupid. It's not like I want my sisters back. She's greedy. She wants her sisters back.
呼べるところまで呼んであげる。
本当に？
Look at her smile. She's so cute.
さすがエンジ様。さあさあ、早く早く。
Apparently, even though she'd asked, Mammon hadn't really expected Anja to do this. She hopped around badgering Anja to summon the other sisters. Summoning Mammon alone consumed a considerable amount of physical and magical power. Remembers how they treat Lucifer. Yeah, they do treat Lucifer like shit. At least in episode 3. They're all fighting each other, always. But you know, maybe that's just a way how they show their sibling love for one another. It will probably be tough to do 6 more. I'm awed by the magical power of those who can summon sisters like this at will with a snap of their fingers. And therefore reach the level where they can be called witches.
マモン、エンジェに無理をさせないで。エンジェはまだ本調子じゃないから。
I mean, Maria's here.
エンジ様はみんなを召喚してくれるって言いました？
Actually, I only said that I'd call as many as I could. I guess that's great for you.
無理しないで、エンジェ。もう今日は休んだ方がいい。君は十分疲れてるよ。
Yeah, you've been running from some crazy lady.
いいわよ。
Some crazy, very greedy lady who's like somehow more greedy than Mama herself.
どうせ暇つぶし、ばったり寝込めるくらいに疲れさせてもらうわ。
This time there's no vessel. I'll have to strengthen the image from my knowledge of the grimoire and materialize him with just that. I held my hands out into the air, replaying in my head the sensation from when I summoned Mammon. I'm acquainted with all the 7 sisters, right? I've got to remember that time long, long ago, when I talked with them. Once again, the power of magic began to fill me up. I let off a faint and yet distinct pale light from both my hands.
エンジ様、しっかりしっかり頑張って。ねえ、マリア卿。
This is also a new track, isn't it?
エンジ様は必ずみんなを呼び出してくださいますよ。また7姉妹は再会できますよね。ね。
うん、きっとね。でも、それが今夜という保証はないよ。
エンジ様ならできますって。エンジ様、お願い。末っ子のアスモから。
Asmodeus?
アスモデウス7女。わかった。末っ子から順番に呼ぶ。
I think Asmodeus was one of the ones we saw less of too. And before I continue reading, let me go to the bathroom real quick. I drank so much. Okay, I'm back. A strand of hot sweat dripped down from my forehead. This really is gonna be one hell of a burden to carry. Oh! pale light in the space began slowly form into the outline of a girl.
さあさあおいでなさい。煉獄の七杭が一つ。色欲のアスモデウス。
There was no vessel. However, as I held a strong conviction that she definitely did exist there as a core, her form began to crystallize. Her outline became distinct, and the form of the youngest of the seven sisters, Asmodeus, was finally created. That was the one who was fighting with Battler about the croissants, wasn't it?
色欲のアスモデウス。
Asmodeus of Lust right there. Right
こ
here.
こはどこ？
All half transparent. Indeed, yeah. They brought her in at 50% opacity in Photoshop.
私は生きてるの？アスモ！よかった。マモン姉さん、ここは一体私を呼び出したのは誰なの？エンジ様が。
I think she is the croissant girl.
エンジ様が私たちをみんな蘇らせてくれるって。
No, I didn't.
エンジ様、ありがとう。
Beelzebub
ベル
next.
ゼをお願いします。
ベルゼブブ六条。暴食のベルゼブブ。さあさあおいでなさい。
At this rate, I wonder how many I'll be able to summon. If I can't focus, this is probably it. Oh, okay. I remember you. The pale light made an outline and formed into Beelzebub. Oh no, wait. I think this is the girl who... Of gluttony. I'm stupid. This is the girl who fought for battle for the croissants. Of course it was her. Now I remember, we've seen Asmodeus when she killed Kanon in episode 2. Now I remember. Mammon and Asmodeus jumped into Beelzebub, celebrating their reunion. We have all three blondes now. I'd summoned 3 people at once. All the 3 blondes. My heart was throbbing. Heart, sorry. Same face squad assemble. Yep. Same face, same body. Got the same eyes. Gotta summon the next one without stopping for a break.
さあさあおいでなさい。煉獄の七杭が一つ。怠惰のベルフェゴール。
My cat is here too.
タイダのベルフェゴール。ここに。
Oh, Belphegor, yes, I like her.
なんと。私がまだ
What you
必
doing?
要とされると。
Tá fazendo? We have the first not blonde one.
じゃなくて、また会えて嬉しい。また七姉妹みんなが再会できるなんて、エンジ様、本当にありがとうございます。この調子で次はサタンネオ。
Oh, Satan, I remember.
ルシネーも。
ええ分かってるわ。だからお願い。あまりうるさくしないで。4人同時は結構きつい。
エンジ、もうそれ以上無理をしないで。これだけ久しぶりなのによく4人も召喚できたよ。
よせ、マモン。今のエンジェ様には我らの召喚は負担を強いている。
Yeah, it's not easy to summon like 4 people all at once. Plus Mari, I guess.
私は嫌。エンジ様は約束したもん。また私たちみんなと遊んでくれるって。
No, I
ねえ、エンジ様。
don't know why I imagined that Bells looked like the Magneto's helmet. She does kind of look like she has
み
that
んなとま
helmet.
た会えるって。すぐに会えるって約束した。
そうね。約束したわ。
She's gonna do all of
すぐに
them.
がいつのこととは約束しなかったけど、確かに私は約束したわ。
だから守って。じゃないと私は今日までそれを忘れていたエンジェ様を許さない。
さあさあおいでなさい。煉獄の七杭が一つ。憤怒のサタン。
Oof, this is gonna be hard. My mind's getting hazy, but I'll call. Even though I've forgotten about those days. Even though I've never thought of that time as anything but sad and lonely. Because that short time I spent with them was fun without a doubt. Oh, her voice is very soft.
私たちが井戸端会議をするだけでどれだけエンジェ様に負担をかけてるか分かってんの？
I like that she immediately appears and she's like, listen, you girls. Satan, who had apparently figured out the situation immediately after being summoned, cried out in a loud voice, telling her sisters off. That loud voice made my consciousness hazy again.
私たちはベアトリーチェ様より休むことを許された役目を終えた家具なのよ。再びお役に立てる機会を賜るどころか新しい主人の負担になるなんてそんなの家具の治れ。
Damn, she barely appears in existence and is already going off.
早く姿を消しなさい。
サタン姉の言う通りだ。姿を消す。お前たちも姿を消せ。それがこの瞬間一番エンジェ様のお役に立てる。
私は嫌よ。みんなを呼び出してもらえるまでは嫌。私も嫌。
Ay, greed and gluttony both at once.
じゃなくてやっと再開したばかりなのにもう帰るなんて嫌。
Uh-oh.
わがまま言ってんじゃないわよ。ほらとっとと姿を消す。ほらアスもさっさと消えなさい。サタン姉さんがいじめた。いつも末っ子からなんてずるい。
実に賑やかね。
How old is Leviathan actually?
退屈しない。
もう十分だよ。
She's going to go even further. She fell asleep, huh? With 5 of them summoned and messing around as they pleased, the load was far too heavy for me, with the meager magical power I had at the moment. This is it. And she fell asleep. As my consciousness went hazy, I fell over onto the bed. Have beds always felt this soft? Seems that the sisters were still squabbling together as much as they liked. For a way to kill time until drowsiness comes to get me. This is enough. Feeling something warm and nostalgic in the sisters' liveliness, I sank into a world of deep sleep. Yes, please sleep. At the entrance to my dream world, I felt Marione-chan and Sakutaro waiting to receive me. Yay! Hello!
お疲れ様。そして頑張ったね。ウリュウ。
So cute. So cute. Sakutaro is so cute. I love him. Okay, crap. I keep not seeing where I'm pressing my buttons.
エンジェ。
Welcome back, huh? Then I should respond like this. I'm home. Aw, that's so sweet. That's really sweet. That's right. Just once in the past, I underwent training in order to step into the world of witches. I accepted that the only power that could save me from those sad, painful days at St. Lucia Academy was a thing called magic, and I received Maria's introduction to the basics.
広大な空間を峠のドライブインから麓を見下ろした時の風景。こう。
Ooh! I projected that scene from my memory into my mental world. Normal girls get over their fascination with magical girls when they leave elementary school. I never did. So seriously training to use magic at this age was embarrassing even for me. But even that embarrassment feeling felt pleasant to me now. Right then, I was learning mental concentration from Marione-chan in order to use magic. But it wasn't going very well. It was about as hopeless as teaching a person to wiggle their ears by showing them. Seems that they need to imagine a vast space to gain the mental concentration for using magic. So I remembered the time from my younger days when my family had gone on a small vacation. when I had looked down towards the base from a viewing platform at the rest stop on a peak. And I tried painting the scene into my mental world.
まだまだ狭い。もっともっと広い空間をイメージして、そしてエンジェだけの新象世界を作り上げるの。まだまだイメージが霞んでる。空気に温度もないし、風
All
もない。
these cliffs, the mountains, the ocean, nah, not large enough. You need to imagine a whole ass
匂
planet.
いもない。まだまだ世界が希薄。
Okay, no smells.
それらは後でもいいから、今はとにかくもっと広い世界をイメージして。
ウリュウ、どうして広い空間のイメージが必要なの？
人間の体内には生まれながらにして魔法を妨げる毒素があるんだよ。
A toxin.
その毒素を浄化しないと魔法はうまく使えないの。そのために有効な方法の一つが広大な空間をイメージすることなんだよ。
さっきは飛行機の窓から見た世界を思い描いたけどそれもダメだったわ。もっと広大な世界なんて見当もつかない。
It's pretty hard to imagine a world vaster than that.
広大な世界をエンジェにも教えてあげればいいよ。そしたらエンジェにもイメージがしやすくなるんじゃない？ウリュウ。
そうね。私もお姉ちゃんはどんな世界をイメージして魔法を使ってるのか興味があるわ。私もそれを参考にする。
ダメだよ。新象世界は広大で、そして孤独じゃないといけないの。自分以外に一切遮るものがない世界だから、その世界を人に教えたらその世界は孤独ではなくなってしまう。だから新象世界は誰にも明かしちゃダメなの。だからエンジェも上手に新象世界を描けたら、それは自分だけの秘密の世界にするんだよ。
ウリュウ、マリアケチンボ。
ありがとう、作太郎。修行に近道なしってわけだわ。努力してみる。
Yes.
大丈夫。
Work hard
ヒン
and
トは
then
十
you
分
can do
もら
it
えてる
too.
わ。
ウリュウ、エンジェ、頑張れ。
Until recently, I thought there was no way something like magic could save me. After all, magic doesn't exist in this world. The kind of thing supposedly nothing more than an illusion, a delusion, a daydream. It's okay to daydream. Daydreams are powerful. However, Marionette-chan showed me that she could fill her own world with happiness using a power that's impossible for me. I used to look down on that happiness as something empty. Because I didn't believe in magic, I also denied everything else, refusing to believe in the happiness that magic gave birth to. Aww, I like this transition. But slowly, bit by bit, Marionette-chan's world grew happier. In the past, I disparaged it, thinking it too pitiful to look at. But that might have been nothing more than jealousy. I was forced to admit that. And now this was my first step in my search for happiness. A vast space, a dry wind that would blow without being blocked by anything. Let me feel that wind blowing through on my own hair. I see, even the ground might get in my way as I am now. Then I don't need a ground. Brush the ground away, downwards, downwards, downwards. Ooh! You're doing well! In other words, it's as though I had floated up, leaving the ground far behind. After pushing the ground further and further downwards, the ground grew foggy and faint, and for the first time it began to feel like the sky. Then I understood its vastness. In that instant, I felt the vivid wind go through even my body, in other words, blowing through me without any resistance.
そう、その感覚を維持して。
ええ、わかる。すべての妨げから解放されてるのがわかる。
We are flying!
やったエン
Whee!
ジェ。魔女の世界
That's a
への
good
最
thing.
初の第一歩を踏み出した。
これが魔女の世界。
Yes. Where else could we fly like this?
じゃあエンジェがずっと望んできた魔法を練習してみよう。お友達を呼び出す魔法。 エンジを寂しさから救い出してくれる味方を作り、それによって幸せになる魔法を。
Let's go!
エンジにも僕みたいなお友達が呼び出せるの？
We'll see.
今のエンジェにはゼロの海からサクタロほどの友達を呼び出すにはまだまだ早いね。最初は呼び出しやすい友達から練習しよう。
Oh!
最初は何を？
It's her in her Saint Lucia uniform. Uryu! Yes, Uryu! Also, hi Kanye, hope you're doing well.
エンジェはマリアージュ・ソルシエールの魔女だから、同盟の魔女が刺激する存在はエンジェもまた刺激することが許されてる。例えばサクタロは私の友達だけど、今度は試しにサクタロを呼び出してみて。
He can summon
寂し
Sakutaro?
くて寂しくて辛い時、サクタロがきっと元気づけてくれるよ。
Yeah, Sakutaro is a good boy. I see. You could call Sakutaro being employed by One-chan. So as a witch in the same alliance as her, it's possible for me to summon Sakutaro too. I met Sakutaro's case. How pleasant it would be to have him just be there by my pillow. They could talk to me a bit on lonely nights.
私が呼びかけたらあなたが現れて話し相手になってくれる？
ウリュウ、エンジェが呼び出してくれるのを楽しみにしてる。ウリュウリュウリュウ。
Looking happy, Sakutaro pressed his head against me like a cat. Suddenly getting a cute younger brother felt a bit confusing, a bit embarrassing, and a bit nice. Unable to understand why I couldn't honestly accept this feeling, I felt tears well up my eyes.
お姉ちゃん、私頑張るわ。
Yes, do your best.
じゃあ練習をしてみよう。同じ同盟の魔女ベアトリーチェの家具を呼び出してみよう。
The furniture from Beato, so all the seven sisters?
ベアトリーチェの家具。
Hearing Beatrice's name gave me a slightly strange feeling. When it came to the crime on Rokkenjima, the public kept going on in a frenzy about it was a sacrifice ceremony performed by a witch. And that witch was Beatrice. So if the witch did commit that crime, that would make her the culprit who stole my family from me. However, Mario-chan said that Beatrice was a good witch. If I held negative emotions towards Beatrice, she'd get mad, leading to a nasty fight, and refuse to talk for a while. At this moment, One-chan was my only close friend, so to avoid worsening her mood, I decided to think of Beatrice as nothing more than One-chan's magic teacher. Also, I believe that the crime was a conspiracy cooked up by Aunt Eva. I will definitely expose the truth about that someday.
エンジェ、また体内に妨げが混じってるよ。
Common sense and logic.
ごめんなさい。集中を書いたわ。もう一度。
I'd expect no less from you, One-chan. You instantly noticed that I was being overcome with idle thoughts. After shaking my head just once, I reimagined the wind blowing through a vast space.
煉獄の七姉妹。
Yes, all
なん
seven
だか物
sisters.
騒な名前ね。
でもとっても賑やかで楽しい子たちだよ。エンジェの新しいお友達になってくれるかもしれない。まずは私が呼び出してみせるね。見てて。
I wonder what it would be like being friends with the seven sisters of the purgatory. State I wasn't able to reach except by meditating for a long period of time, she reached in the span of a few quick breaths. Then a pale light began to gather in her palms, and one by one the girl began to show themselves. All of them at once. All seven. 1, 2, 3 people. 4, 5, 6, 7 people. The way they summoned one after another in a line was a masterpiece. They almost make like a perfect hue line. It's amazing. Like a hue color line in a art software. It's just great. Incredible. Just like the illustration in One-chan's grimoire, the seven sisters of purgatory. Oh, she drew them? That's cute. The younger sisters were behind the eldest, Lucifer, who saluted One-chan.
煉獄の七姉妹、ここにマリア卿、
ご無沙汰を申し上げております。
久しぶりだね。みんなも元気？
They look
我
well.
ら家具は刺激されてこそ家具。久しぶりのお呼び出しを心より光栄に思います。
Oh, she knows him. That's cute. That's great. I'm very glad they appreciate him.
じゃなかった。かわいい。
Bills, don't eat him, please.
私が一番。
He's a good boy. Don't eat him.
今日もふかふかプニプニしててかわいい。
Everybody wants to cuddle Saktaro. That's great. I very much appreciate that.
私にも抱かせて。うりゅう、苦しい。僕は逃げないから離してみんな。
Oh no!
こらあんたたちマリア教の家具を壊す気？とにかく離れなさいよ。抱きしめるの禁止。
そう言ってるサタン姉が一番抱きしめたがってるよ。
Oh my god.
私は別にあんなふかふかのプニプニのワフワフなんて興味ないんだから。
It's okay. All 7 of you want to cuddle Saktaro. He's a good boy.
マリア教とエンジェ様の御前よ。静かになさいこのグマイども。
They were so energetic. I was shocked by the sudden burst of activity right after they appeared. And on top of that, I was surprised that the innocent Saktaro was on such good terms with the 7 sisters. I mean, is it hard? He's very cute.
意外。サクタロがあんな物騒な連中にこん
By
なに可愛がら
such
れてる
shady
なんて。
people. Wow, that's rude.
同じ同盟の仲間たちだもん。怖くなんかないよ。
We're all friends.
万が一彼女らの機嫌を損ねちゃったら、サクタロあっという間にやられちゃいそう。
Don't kill him.
大丈夫。同盟の魔女とその家具はみんな仲良しなの。だからサクタロも安心して遊べるの。それはもちろん私やエンジェも同じだよ。
It was one of the pacts of Mariage Sorcière. Mutual non-aggression and non-interference. Member witches must respect each other's magic and creation. Even the sisters, who were normally shady and belligerent, treated fellow alliance members as friends. So to the 7 sisters, Saktaro was a mutual friend. Good. They should all get along. He was loved by all of them, and they were even trying to steal him away from each other. The scene as they squeezed him and loved him was a bit
なる
charming.
ほど。マリアージュ・ソルシエールの仲間同士なのね。
At a glance, you'd think that Sakutaro's casual atmosphere and the 7 sisters' shady one would be like water and oil. It looked like they definitely wouldn't be compatible. And yet they were interacting in a friendly way, like it was completely natural. If this wonderful alliance could join all the people of the world together, I wonder if everyone in the world would be able to become friends right away.
七姉妹のみんな聞いて。今エンジェは魔法の修行中なの。だからみんなの力を貸してほしいの。
かしこまりました、マリア教。
Everybody, lend the power of
し
magic!
かし、具体的には何を？
君たちを権限させる魔力を私からエンジェに移す。
Mm-hmm.
その状態でいつも彼女の身近にいてあげてほしいの。
Basically,
彼
she's
女
passing
の
you
話し
down.
相手になったりしてあげるだけでいい。
恐れながら、エンジェ様の魔力では、私たち七姉妹すべてを四六時中呼び出し続けるのは容易なことではないかと。
That would certainly be convenient. The older sister Lucifer gazed at my complexion as she advised it, speaking reservedly. In other words, she was saying that the burden might be heavy for me at this point in time.
そういう修行なの。エンジェはみんなが想像しているより才能と魔力があるよ。ちょっぴり辛いかなとは思うけど、今のエンジェなら挑戦する価値はあると思う。
Yeah, better now than never,
Angie?
right? When she's like crusty and old and wrinkly. Although, it would work even if you're that old.
今から彼女たちを権限させる魔力を君に切り替える。つまりエンジェが呼び出したのと同じ状態になるの。
So what Maria-chan was trying to say was something like this. To keep the Seven Sisters materialized, you are continuously burdened with a significant amount of magical power. Maybe you could say it was like training while wearing a weighted wristband. That's 7 whole people at once, and they're not very quiet people too. And I have to go to the bathroom again. Okay, I am back.
エンジェ、いきなりは厳しくない？
ありがとう、サク太郎。でも魔女になるための修行だしね。やれるところまでやってみるわ。
The 7 of them certainly do seem boisterous. But even if this is for training, having them with me will surely distract me from my loneliness at least a little. I understood it would be an ordeal, but wanted to give it a shot.
もしも辛かったら無理をしないでね。
Don't overdo if it gets tough, okay? Yes, thank
み
you.
んなもエンジェが辛そうだったら加減してあげて。
かしこまりました。わかったね、あんたたち。はい、お家様。それではエンジェ様、これより我ら煉獄の7姉妹はエンジェ様の家具となります。マリア卿、お願いいたします。
Mika linda. My kitty is here.
じゃあエンジェ、始めてもいい？
いいわ。ちょっと緊張する。
ウリュウ。
But what happened for her to not have that power
頭痛になり
anymore?
そうだったらすぐに魔力を減
I
ら
have
し
a
て
bad
ね。
feeling about this, you guys.
じゃあ魔力ソースをエンジェに移すよ。
Do your best, Maria! In an instant, the inside of my head felt very heavy. This is... yeah, it's tough. Until then, the inside of my head had been used for myself. It was almost like it was now being used for 7 other people. They just stood there and blinked once or let out a single sigh. That would put a strong pressure on my head.
マリア卿、恐れながら、やはり一度に7姉妹全員の負荷は重すぎるかと。
大丈夫。
She's doing her best. Give me my cat some space so she can lay down.
やっぱりダメかな。権限に全勢力を使っちゃってる。日常生活と両立できないほどの負荷じゃ意味がない。何しろ魔女としてこれじゃちょっと優雅じゃないね。ウリュウ。
Poor Sakutaro.
だからいきなりこんなに大勢は無理だって言った。みんな少し姿を消してあげて。
そうね。人数を減らした方が良さそう。アスモ、姿を消しなさい。
また私？
The youngest always.
末っ子いじめ反対。たまには上から消えてよ。それじゃあ私が2番目に消えなきゃならないじゃない。やだやだやだ。
アスモもレビアネーも騒がないの。そういう騒ぎが余計エンジェ様の負担になるのよ。あんたが騒ぐのも負担になるのよ、バカサタン。
All 3 of you disappear, I guess. The 7 sisters started arguing over who should erase themselves first. The energy from that fight all became a burden, forcing Anja to bear an even greater headache. Too much concentration at once, huh? In the end, they decided to the order with rock, paper, scissors, and 3 of them disappeared. But even at that level, Anju was still far too from comfortable. In the end, once 6 of them had erased themselves, I was finally able to calm my breathing. With my magical powers, forget the 7 sisters. Just one person is my limit. Mamon?
これじゃあ7姉妹じゃなくて私一人じゃないですか。エンジ様、ちょっと頼りないです。
Mamon had won all of the rock, paper, scissors matches and was permitted to remain until the end grumbled.
ウリュウ、マモン、そんなこと言っちゃダメ。
Did she want to go?
エンジェはまだまだ修行中。大丈夫、エンジェ。頭痛、大丈夫？
Sakutaro stretched up on his tiptoes, trying to pat Anja's head. Oh. Watching this, Maria scratched her head, acknowledging that the sudden training had been too difficult. Yuppie, how's it going? Oh, hi, Kumamaru. How you doing? I'm doing kinda okay. I am paying close attention to not getting loud so that I can read for a while.
ちょっと荒行すぎたかな。
It has been going well so far, and I also got to show my new model, which has a lot more range now. Like, a lot more. And it has different expressions.
マリア、これくらいなら全然平気だけど、友達いっぱいいればいるほど楽しいし。
お姉ちゃんの凄さを改めて思い知るわ。
Yes, Mario is amazing. Cool, looking good, thank you. I spent like a bit over a month working on it. So it's good to know that the work has paid off. Apparently, when one reaches Mario Nechan's class, one can summon enough people to perform in an orchestra. For a witch apprentice, that's awe-inspiring.
大丈夫ですか、エンジ様。
ごめんなさいね。私にはあなた一人を呼び出すのがやっとみたい。
まあ、私はこれでもいいかな。だって7姉妹で私だけがエンジ様の家具を独り占めだし。いかがですか、エンジ様。
She wants, she's being greedy, huh? A little bit?
私一人なら不可にはなりませんか。
ええ、あなた一人ならなんとかね。
よかったならいっぱい修行していっぱい魔力を養ってください。そしていつかきっと7姉妹で揃ってお仕えさせてください。約束ですよ。
After confirming that, for the time being, her own materialization wasn't causing any issues. Mamon immediately became very cheery again and tried to make me promise to work harder. I see that definitely fits with her being greed. But maybe you could also call it having a positive attitude.
ええ、約束するわ。そのくらいはいつかできなくちゃね。
ありがとう、エンジ様。
My headache finally abated, and I relaxed both hands, which had been clutching at my head. Then Mamon stuck out her hand, helping me stand back up.
あ、マリア、エンジ、もうこんな時間だよ。もう部屋に戻らないと叱られる。
Oh, it's night, huh? I hadn't expected Sakutaro to talk about the time. I was brought back into reality. Ugh, boring reality. Oh! The bathroom. As though the light had disappeared, the vast world sunk into the darkness, and I was in a tiny, tiny bathroom stall, sitting on a toilet. One-Nichan's grimoire was open on my lap. I looked at the clock. It was almost 8, time for lights out. If I show up late for the roll call before lights out, not only will things get pretty annoying, but it'll cause trouble for my roommates and floor mates. I couldn't care less about causing them trouble, but I don't want them messing with me later. My free time by myself is already over for today. I'll sleep, wake up tomorrow will begin, and another long, long gray-colored day will repeat again. I closed the grimoire and rose from the toilet seat. At that time, Onichan appeared again and spoke. Oh, that's nice.
ほら、エンジ、 修行を忘れてるよ。マモンを連れて行って。
I'd forgotten. The moment I'd returned to reality, Mammon's materialization had stopped. One more time, I created the strong image of the existence of Mammon in my mind.
もう園児様ったらひどいです。いきなり私を消すなんて。そんなんじゃ七姉妹を全員呼ぶなんてなかなかできませんよ。
ごめんなさい、うっかりしてたわ。
It's
人間界
hard.
に権限するのはすごい久しぶりなので、何から何まで興味深いです。ちょっぴりワクワクしてます。ここはどこですか？
聖ルチーア学園の寮。ここはその共用トイレの個室。各部屋にトイレはあるから、ここには誰も来ない。静かで本を読むにはちょうどいいの。
ここの寮は本を読むにもトイレの個室に隠れなきゃならないの？文書でもやってるんですか？
Damn. I have a two-person room, so my roommate is always there. Our relationship is gloomy and it feels like I'm always getting ignored. The atmosphere is bad, so I really can't relax there. And as long as I'm not there, she can do what she likes. Call her friends over and chat away. It's more convenient for them too if I don't return until just before lights out. There's also a library, but there's a group that uses it as a meeting place, and they're always talking behind my back. So I don't like to go there. During lunch, it's the bushes behind the school building. During the night, it's the stall in the shared bathroom in the dorms. Those are the only hideaways where I can find peace. I opened the door to the stall out and went out. I turned around, signaling my eyes for Mama to come with me.
よくわからないけれど、園児様にとってとても快適とは言い難い場所だってことが分かったわ。
Saint Lucia is absolute hell.
早く表に出ましょう。ここの空気嫌い。
そう、ここの空気が一番まともなんだけどね。
When I left the bathroom and entered the corridor, because it was near lights out time, several kids who had gone to play in other rooms were dashing back to their own. When it came for lights out, we had to change into uniform pajamas that we hated and called prison clothes, line up in the hallway, and go through the dorm leader's roll call. On the off chance that someone was late, we could take collective responsibility and all the floor mates would have to undergo punishment in the form of volunteer work. As long as I avoided this, the girls would look at me coldly, but they wouldn't get in my way. That alone was enough for me. Damn, all these girls, I wish I could punch them. Maman looked at the passing kids and the furnishing of the dorms with interest. Without paying her any particular attention, I hurried back to my room. In front of my room was my roommate, who had already changed into her prison clothes, chatting with some kids from the room next door. When they noticed me hurrying back, the topic of their conversation noticeably changed. They lowered their voices, stealing glances at me. I acted like I didn't notice, went into my room and changed. Then I hastily went out into the corridor. Everyone was already lined up.
何これ？おっかしい。ここってお嬢様学校じゃないの？刑務所みたい。バカみたい。
やっぱりそうよね。
Yes, thank you, Mammon. Your commentary is very important.
私もそう思ってるわ。刑務所よりさらに厳しい点は、素行が良くても刑期が短くならない点かしら。
After badmouthing the place, I noticed something. Having someone to listen to your complaints feels surprisingly good. Fortunately, Mammon's form can only be seen by her summoner, me, and of course there was no need to speak out loud for this conversation. All I had to do was speak inside my mind so no one could listen in. Oh? Magic and the friends it creates might actually not be so bad.
こいつら揃いも揃ってもやしみたい。
I know exactly what this is. All these people are sheltered brats indeed.
生きてないって感じ。
Sorry, I didn't mean to sneeze like that.
やめなさいよ。毎日姿を見られたら大変よ。
夢も希望もかけらほどもない人間なんて半魔法の塊だもの。私の姿なんて絶対に見えるわけがない。
They are not worthy of seeing you to begin with.
見ることもできない下等生物どもが。
あなたはその半魔法の毒素を持つ人間たちがこれほどいる中でも平気なの？
園児様が私を権限させてくださる限りは平気です。ただ私を権限するために 常に集中しなければならないでしょうから、日常生活がおろそかになる可能性がありますよ。
I think there's a middle
同
ground
室の子にはバレて
possible.
ません？
Oh,
後ろ宮さん、聞こえてる？
I felt that.
来週からの終盤なんだけどさ、ちょっと相談があって。
She's probably trying to push a few more chores onto me. My roommate, who never even looked at me in the eye normally, was smiling at me unpleasantly. But it'll be easier to have the weekly duty pushed onto me alone rather than doing it together with her. There's a small price to pay to have her continue to ignore me non-stop. Even so, with a completely shameless excuse, she sidestepped the issue for some reason and insisted on flipping the situation around, as though I should have come forward and done it of my own initiative. One of the special traits of this academy is that it's full of girls who don't know how to ask a favor, who are hecking jerks.
何この子、ムカつく。眉間に思いっきり私の杭をねじ込んでやりたい。
Go ahead.
そうね。ぜひ今度お願いするわ。
Yeah, having a friend nearby all the time to complain to makes me happier than I thought it would. It really was lively with all the seven sisters gathered together. I'm sure just watching them mess around will be a lot of fun. I want to gain enough magical power to summon all the seven sisters at once and soon. So I'll train much, much more. And finally summon the thing I really want to find. Happiness.
エンジ様が本当に召喚したいものって何ですか？
Mama noticed my conversation with myself inside my head and asked about it blankly. I hesitated to talk about it, but then figured that there was no reason to hide it and hold her.
お父
Oh,
さん、お母さん、お兄ちゃん。
that's
それってつま
sad.
り死者の魂？
That's
異界の
sad.
住人を呼び出すのは召喚だけど、死者の魂を呼び戻すのは反言で、それは全くの別物。反言はかなりの大魔法のはずですよ。
I know, so much so that even Mario Nechan can't do it at all. But that's the thing I want to find with magic the most. I've been warned that it's very difficult high-level magic. So great that, in the worst case, I might not necessarily reach that point even after training for my whole life. Furthermore, I have no vessel. A vessel is vital for making magic succeed, whether it's summoning or resurrection. Because I don't have that, a magic that would already have been difficult is now hopeless. That's right. I have nothing to remember Dad or Mom by. However, by an extraordinary coincidence, I do have something to remember just Oni-chan by. And that's this.
そのピンクの玉の頭飾り？
Oh, that's that's sweet. So that's why she never takes it off, huh?
言っちゃ悪いけど、エンジェ様にはちょっと安物っぽい。
昔、お父さんに内緒で、お母さんと一緒にお兄ちゃんに会って、遊園地に遊びに行ったことがあるの。そこのクレーンゲームの景品。
Oh, that's so cute. I know it's cheap, I realize that it doesn't match my style, and I get that it's too childish. But this hair accessory is the only thing that makes me feel as though Battler Nichan is by my side. Oh, are we getting a flashback? The glass case had been filled with plastic capsules packed with fun-looking things. It seemed that each capsule had some cute accessory in it. The game was to grab those with the crane, but I was young and it was too hard for me. I tried it several times, but I didn't even get close. Mom said that whatever was inside was probably cheap anyway, and we didn't even know what we'd get. So there was no point in getting all upset over it. But whether it's something cheap or not wasn't the problem. The process of grabbing happiness with my own hands felt really important and sacred to me. So I wanted the cheap thing inside more than anything. Oh, look at her, she looks so cute with the pigtails. Then Battler Nichan came over after finishing a game of shooting soldiers with a gun and tried to do it for me. With his arms that were longer than mine, Oni-chan grasped the happiness that I couldn't reach. Oni-chan really was coordinated. It seems he often played with his friends at the arcades. After only one or two attempts, he grasped that thing on the other side of the glass with the crane that I hadn't been able to touch and threw it into the exit chute. Oh, Battle is good at video games! When Oni-chan tossed me that capsule, I remember that he looked very, very reliable. For several days, I felt like opening the capsule would be a waste. Then one day, I finally opened it up, and what revealed inside was this pink jeweled hair accessory. Since that day, it's been a symbol for Oni-chan. Since I was young, I felt that having all four of us gathered, including Bachelor Oni-chan, was a precondition for a happy family. So I wanted Oni-chan and Dad to make up quickly. In my own way, I treated this hair accessory as a charm for bringing my whole family together. So I always used to wear it. I wanted to feel my reliable, fun, and wonderful Oni-chan by my side all the time. And let him live in our house. That's so sweet.
お兄ちゃんの記憶はあまりに遠い。マリアお姉ちゃんがライオンのぬいぐるみからサクタラを生み出したようには簡単にできない。私は死者の魂を蘇らせる大魔法をいつか必ず身につける。そしてそれを成功させられる唯一の鍵が、よりしろがこれなの。
なるほど。その頭飾りにものすごい魔力を感じてたけど、そういうわけなのね。
魔力？お兄ちゃんのこれに魔力が宿ってるの？
Is it love?
宿らせていると、エンジ様の兄を呼び出したいという強い思いが魔力を与え。確かに反言は大魔法だけど、エンジ様はその魔法のために無意識のうちに着実に階段を登っているのは間違いない。
No.
嬉しいわ。私以外の人にそれを認めてもらえるのは。
Your own effort isn't something that you can observe by yourself. In that sense, even though these words came from a shady demon girl who controls one of the 7 deadly sins, they made me very happy.
反言の魔法に至るのと寿命を全うするのとどっちが早いかだけは私には保証できないけれども、でも挑む山の高さが高ければ高いほど、エンジ様はくじけることがなかったなら、きっといつか私たちの元の主ベアトリーチェ様に匹敵するほどの大魔女になれると思います。
なれるかしら。大魔女になってお兄ちゃんを、家族を蘇らせることができるかしら。
反言の魔女エンジェ教。素敵。
That would be really cute.
反言の魔女はかなりレアな魔女です。そんな魔女がご主人様なんてちょっと鼻が高いです。っていうかむしろそうなってほしいものです。家具の価値も主の格に比例しますので。もうベアトリーチェ様さえ抜いちゃって天下無双の大魔女になってくださいね。煉獄の7姉妹を代表して心より応援申し上げます。
I thought that if a magical friend were to appear for me too, a cute kid like Sakutaro would be the best. But even this 5th sister of the shady 7 sisters who controlled the 7 deadly sins was enough to calm my heart so much all by herself. Maria One-chan has probably known that since long ago. That's why she recommended the World of Witches to me over and over again. And I kept on stubbornly rejecting her. I should have given in and started my training as a witch sooner. A year for a child is worth 10 years for an old person, right? Now I find my past self, which only ever complained, deplorable for wasting my precious time. Long after I turned off the lights and slipped into bed, Mammon continued to talk to me as alongside my pillow. People sad, yeah, very sad, I promise. One day for sure, I'll develop a magical power that can summon the 7 sisters. And I'll let them have a lively and fun time. The 7 of them make a single whole. None can be left out. Family must be together. I must bring them together. Oh, she sees them as family. That's cute. I mean, they are the 7 sisters, so it makes sense. Oh, we're back! My awareness began to return slowly. Unable to stand watching Aunt Rosa and Mario One-chan's relationship, I ran away from Beato's and Oni-chan's game, didn't I? I've got to go back. Oh, this is a new background. I've got to go back, support Oni-chan, and quickly bring him back from the strange world of the witch's game. After all, as long as I'm here, I'm not allowed to call myself Ange. At that time, I felt someone's presence. She's back! When I turned around, I could see Mama there.
グレーテル様、そろそろお戻りになられないと、ゲームの進行に差し支えると、ベアトリーチェ様が仰せです。
Yes, please return. Let's both return to the game board.
速やかにお戻りになられますように、お願い申し上げます。
ありがとう。もう戻るわ。
よかったじゃないですか。
何が？
バトラお兄ちゃんに出会えて。
Yes.
皮肉？
そう聞こえるなら、そういうことにしてもらってもいいですけど。
ごめんなさい。
I like
言葉
Mamon.
通りに受け取るべきね。
She has a little bit of that smugness, but she's also pretty cute.
ええ、そうよ。こんなおかしな世界であっても、お兄ちゃんに出会えて心底に嬉しいわ。
そして、お兄ちゃんのために、ベアトリーチェ様に打ち勝つ？
She will.
ええ、いつまでもこんな世界で遊ばれてちゃ困るもの。そろそろお家へ帰る時間なのよ。だから私が呼びに来たわ。
せいぜい頑張ってください。私、今の主はベアトリーチェ様ですので、応援はできませんが。
We are all in the way in the past after all.
知ってるわ。1986年10月5日までは、あなたはベアトリーチェの家具よ。そしてやがては、私の友人になるわ。
そしてやがては、その友人を捨てるわけですが。
Aww.
何しろ。
Oh. Mamon moaned as if she'd bit her tongue, staggering as she clutched her chest. Apparently the rules apply to people other than me as well.
大丈夫。それ、結構辛いわよ。
She's not allowed to talk about the future, huh?
失礼しました。グレーテル様。
いいえ、ありがとう。嬉しいわ。お兄ちゃんに出会えて。あなたの最初の問いへの答えよ。じゃあ、戻りましょう。私があまりぐずると、あなたが今の主人に怒られるわ。
はい。ご理解いただけて助かります。それではこっち。
Oh! Was...
Mama?
I'm sure Mama was about to say, well then this way, but then she stopped, as though the film had been torn off at that point. It looked like she'd suddenly frozen. Then I noticed. She wasn't the only thing that had frozen. Ah shit, my entire PC is frozen! It says not responding! Even the air and floating bits of dust had frozen in place in empty space. A world where it seemed even time had frozen. Yes, it looks like a portent that Bergenstell will appear. But the atmosphere was different somehow. Then I understood. It wasn't Bergenstell, it was the other witch. Oh, you! Oh, it's you!
Lambda Delta.
Damn, Lambda, you show up and then you crash the whole game? Aren't you seeing this? The task manager can handle this.
あなたにはルールの適用はないのね。
当たり前でしょ。ルールは他人を縛るためにあるのよ。
And she's unbound.
自分をそれで縛るバカはいないわ。
Bergenstell is a witch who supports me, but this girl is different. This witch supports Beatrice. In other words, she's being on the opposite side. But there's some kind of difference between her and Beatrice. Even compared to Bergenstell, there's something strange about Lambda Delta's existence. It's, how should I put it? Maybe like she's from being from a higher dimension. In any event, I was still unsure about how to deal with her. The only thing that was certain was that she was my enemy. Now, just knowing that might be enough, but...
それで、私に何かご用？
まあね、あなたたちの会話に耳を傾けてたら、ちょっと面白い話になったんでね。あなたにちょっといい話を聞かせてあげようと思って。
Do tell, girl.
あなたは私の敵のはず。そのあなたが私に得する話を聞かせる理由が思いつかないわ。つまり、耳を傾けた時点で負けということだわ。じゃあね、See you next time.
She just straight up ignores her!
誤解しないで。私の相手はベルンであって、あなたじゃないわ。つまり、
私とあなたが共に得をする話はあり得るということよ。
悪いけど私には聞く気がないわ。
Although I said that, I probably won't be released from this frozen time until Lambda Delta is satisfied. This itself might be proof that she's in a higher dimension than me. I have been given the option of not listening to her. All I can do is try not to be shaken by anything she says and strengthen my mental guard. She'll probably try to make me believe something disadvantageous to me, threatening me. Immediately looking smug.
そんなに身構えなくてもいいってば。私はあなたの誤解を解きに来ただけよ。いえ、ちょっと違う。ベルンカステルがあなたについた嘘を教えてあげようと思ってやってきたの。
ベルンカステルが嘘？
Lied about what?
あなたがベルンにベアトを倒せば兄が帰ってくるような、そんな言い方をされたんじゃないの？
さあ、あなたに話す気はないけど。
My brother coming home, I hadn't been promised anything that dreamlike. Getting just one person only if I was lucky had been a promise without very high hopes. But that's enough for me. After being promised an eternity of isolation, having a faint but still non-zero chance was still a shining beacon.
ある意味ベルンのその約束は嘘ではないわ。ベルンがそう約束したのならきっと、あなたがベアトを倒せば、バトラも両親も解放されて、あなたのところへ帰ってくる。
何の問題もないじゃない。
本気で？あの子は案外残酷よね。分かってて騙すなんて。
Mm-hmm. Even though she
私はどう
knows.
騙されてるというの？
Damn, I'm letting her take the initiative. But I won't be released until I lend an ear to her. So it's something I'll have to hear anyway. Even though I realized I was falling into a trap, I urge her forwards.
今は何年？
このゲーム版の世界のことならば、1986年10月4日よ。
その通り。ならば、あなたがベアトに打ち勝ったなら、台風が去った10月6日に島に囚われていた人々は帰還する。
What, as corpses?
1986年の10月6日にね。
だから何？
あなたの1986年の10月6日はどうだった？親戚の家にいたんじゃなかったかしら。
I'd been at the house the only my mother trusted, Grandpa. We got a call. When I was playing with building blocks in the tatami room, we got a call. After watching to make sure that I remembered, Delta laughed unpleasantly and spoke. Damn, what a bully.
ねえ、あなたの1986年10月6日にバトラお兄ちゃん帰ってきた？
So you just came over to be a bully, I see. Even though I didn't understand what she was saying, I noticed an unpleasant sweat seeping all over my face. They came back to you as corpses, I guess. I don't get it. I don't get it. What is this witch saying? Brass coordinator coming in for whenever Lambda is bullying her people.
バトラは確かに解放されるわ。そしてお家へ帰るでしょうね。1986年のお家に。だってそうでしょ？バトラは1986年の10月4日から5日に閉じ込められてるんだもの。そしてあなたは1998年の人間。バトラが帰ってこなかった1998年の後ろ宮エンジェル。意味わかる？
You're in both different fragments, I guess.
10月6日に家族が家に帰ってくるなら、私はすぐにおじいちゃんの家から帰るわ。そして私たちは出会う。めでたしめでたし。
ええ、後ろ宮エンジは家族に再会できるでしょうね。1986年に6歳の後ろ宮エンジはね。
But not you.
私って誰？
後ろ宮エンジよ、18歳。違うわ。後ろ宮エンジじゃない。
You're a witch's piece with that name.
エンジェ・ベアトリーチェという名の全くの別人。意味わかる？
No? I don't really get it anymore. Huh? Huh? Who am I? Huh?
だからベルンは残酷だなって思うの。
What the fuck are you talking about?
意地悪だなって思うのよね。そういう経験なくもないくせにね。
私何か騙されてる？
ああ、でもどうかベルンを責めないでね。だって考えようによってはあの子は嘘をついてない。ベアトを倒せば家族が帰ってくる。後ろ宮エンジェのところへ。
Was it like that? Was it like that? What did Berkanstel say to me again? Your assistance is required. Your family needs it. Berkanstel started by saying that. Then I spoke. If I save them, does that mean my family will come home? And how did Berkanstel answer that again? I cannot promise that. She did make me a promise. In exchange for accepting this fight, yes, this was what she said. In exchange, I will search for a fragment with the ideal world that you wish for. A world where your family comes home. Yeah, that's right. She didn't say any more than that she'd look for it. She didn't say she'd find it. But I was prepared for that from the beginning. But even so, that child promised that as long as I didn't give up, there was a faint chance of it happening. And in the end, she said this. I'm giving you a chance for revenge. In exchange, I promise to search for and bring you the happiest resolution among the possibilities you're capable of accepting.
初めから辛い賭けになることは承知よ。だって私の1998年には家族はいない。絶対のゼロが揺らぐわずかな可能性と引き換えなら、私にはそれだけで価値がある。仮に復讐を成し遂げても徒労になるかもしれないと事前に脅されてるわ。だから
その部分に嘘はないわね。ベアとのゲーム版は完璧よ。あんたが立ち回ったところでベアとが敗北する可能性なんて生涯に一度のみ夢見ることを許されるかどうかくらいほんのわずか。
Well, considering this is the last answer arc, let's see how that goes.
つまり限りなくゼロとみなせるほどに絶対にその勝率はほとんどゼロだからベルンがそういうお茶を濁した言い方になるのは仕方がない。
Well, Byrne is the witch of miracles. She did say, so long the chances aren't zero, she can claw a miracle out of it. So
でもあなたに
there is a
夢を持
chance.
たせた点についてだけは騙してると言い切れるわ。だって天文学的な確率を乗り越えてあんたが勝利できたとしても家族が帰ってくるのはあんたのところじゃない。この1986年に存在する6歳の正しい後ろ宮エンジェのとこあんたのところにじゃない。
Not
ベルン
you.
はそれでも100億のかけらをめぐりあんたに一番マシな世界を探すでしょうね。そしてその彼女が言ったんじゃないの。手土産に持参するつもりだが見つけられなかったと。
言ったわ。
Man, Lambda, you're being very mean.
ついてきた。あんたこの戦いにご褒美が用意されてないのよ。いえ、それどころかベアと打ち破ればゲーム版は消え去る。そしてその駒であるあんたも消え去る。あんたに享受できるゴールは完全にいいえ、私の名において宣言するわ。この絶対の魔女ラムダデルタの名において絶対にないと宣言する。
そんな。
それがベルンの嘘よ。煙に巻いたと言うべき。あんたに救いがあるかのように誤解させた。私はそれを解きに来たのよ。
つまり私はどう戦いどう勝利を収めようとも私のところに家族は帰ってこないの？
ええ、帰ってこない。
She's probably going to be like, seeing Battler here is already enough for me.
絶対の魔女が絶対にって言ってるの。これってすごいことよ。私に絶対が与えられたくて
歴史的建造物を捧げた古代の王たちが何人もいたのに、私はそれを気前よくあんたにはプレゼントしちゃうの。
I mean that your certainty kind of sucks right now.
相手はとっても素敵でキュートでマーベラスなことなのよ。
Your idea of present is pretty messed up, Battler. Sorry, Lambda.
一つだけいい提案があるの。
Damn, I'm getting completely overwhelmed. I knew I shouldn't have listened, and now I'm starting to be overwhelmed by the switch Lambda Delta. What's up?
私の相手はベルンであってあんたじゃない。私とあなたが共に得をする話はあり得るとさっき言ったはずよ。最初から私はそういう話をする。だから耳を貸しなさい。貸すしかないのよ、あんたには。
聞くわよ。聞いてやるわよ。聞けばいいんでしょ。
I finally lost control over my emotions that exploded from the inside. I don't have a clue anymore. I believed that I was Ange, but at some point I stopped being Ange. That's right, I'm an Ange, not Ange. Who am I? I'm not my parents' child nor my brother's little sister. I'm just a piece in a witch's game.
そこまで悲観することはないわ。だってよく考えて、今あんたはバトラお兄ちゃんに出会えているわ。確かに自らの名を名乗ることはできないけれど、それでも少なくとも魔女と戦うゲームの味方同士という位置にいて、いつまでも永遠に一緒にいることができる。意味わかる？
I can't stand it. But I understand. In other words, as long as Onichan keeps getting a tie in this game, it will continue forever. Continuing to tie means continuing the game for eternity, and it means that I can remain with Onichan as a piece. But if Onichan wins or loses and the curtain closes on the game,
駒であるあんたは消える。ゲームの駒の幸せは何？ゲームで遊んでもらうことだけよ。押し入れにしまわれて埃をかぶることじゃないわ。そうでしょ？
I feel like this has a bit of a meta commentary. In the past, the Seven Sisters of Purgatory said it as well. Furniture's happiness comes from being used, not being stored away. That's right. I am now the witch's furniture.
話を少し変えるわね。実は私、このゲーム永遠に引き分け続けてほしいと思ってるの。終わらないゲームは永遠の終わり。ベルンを今度こそ屈服させる未来永劫に開かれることのない絶対密室よ。ベアとはね、一応は勝つ気があるの。バトラを屈服させるという勝利。でもね、実はそれも私には困るのよ。だってゲームが終わっちゃったら密室が崩れてしまうもの。だから私、バトラが屈服することだけはないようにある程度の手心は加えてるの。安心して。バトラが屈服しかけると私は彼の味方になったりもしてるのよ。ただね、どうもベアトのやつ、それにうすうす気づき出してる気がする。このゲームに自分の勝ちは永遠にないんじゃないかって気づき始めてる気がする。でもそこはさすが無限の魔女。ベアトはバカだからそれでもいつかきっと勝てる。それまで延々と無限にゲームを繰り返せばいいと楽観してるわ。
So basically, what I'm getting is
大抵考えが足りないって決まってるものよ。
pretty much all blondes are morons, so you too? You too, I guess.
この魔女のゲーム。
That being said, from what I'm getting, Lambda is so much of a yandere lesbian that she's dragging everyone else down with her. Like, damn, get a room, both of you, and don't involve anyone else, you know? You need consent for your kinks, you know? You shouldn't be into exhibitionism.
勝利も敗北もないってことなの？
私が勝たせない。そして任せない。絶対に。ベルンはそれに気づいてる。そしてそれを破るために最も強力な駒としてあんたを見つけ送り込んできた。このゲームを終わらせるためにね。
このゲームを
To find out the truth, huh?
はっきり断言する。あんたは存在が矛盾してるのよ。自らの存在理由で自らを闇に葬り絶望するため。
My goal is to defeat Beata and release my captive family, and yet even if I succeed, I won't be rewarded.
負けられない。そして勝っても報われない。だから私は第三の選択肢をあなたに持ってきたの。そしてその選択肢は私とあなたの利害を一致させるわ。
She's probably not gonna accept it. Continue in the tie for all eternity. She wants the truth more than anyone else.
永遠に引き分け続ける限りこの世界は崩壊しない。この世界は何？魔女とのゲームの世界。ベアトとバトラが永遠に戦い続ける世界。そして同時にあなたが永遠にバトラと一緒にいられる世界なのよ。
Basically, so long we don't solve the mystery, we can bring out as many Umineko chapters as we want, and the story never ends. Oh, poor Anje. My head was spinning. That confusion became a hot liquid, and I felt it pouring from my eyes. It was hot that it felt like it burned my face.
エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ、ゲームを終わらせ、あなたとバトラの交流できる世界を終わらせようとするのが目的のベルンカステルに味方する理由がどこにあるの？あの子はあんたを騙してたのよ。自分の駒になればあんたが救われるかのようにごまかしてね。でも私はそこをごまかさない。
By the way, your model has cool new features. Thank you! I got to showcase them at the start of the stream. I'll be publishing a showcase video after the stream. So, like a showcase video. I'll probably also edit the showcase video from the start. But I'll have to video edit it because I, for some reason, OBS deleted the microphone capture. So a chunk of it is muted.
だから言うわ、エンジェ。私の駒になりなさい。私はベルンのように絶対にもらえない嘘のご褒美なんてちらつかせないわ。私の駒となり、このゲームが絶対に終わらないように私に協力する限り、私はあんたにこの世界が絶対に続くことを我が名において絶対に約束する。
Quick, Anja, help me make more arcs so that the story doesn't end and I can keep keep reading and cracking mysteries because I am a raging lesbian.
ボーナスもつけてあげる。あなたに課せられているルール、それを取り払ってあげるわ。
Which is?
もちろん私の駒になると誓ってもらった後にだけどね。
She's gonna say no, huh? In my own throat there was a thick, loud, gulping sound. I shouldn't have listened. If I hadn't listened, I could have remained an innocent little sister, praying for my brother's victory. But I might be different now. I might have been degraded into a witch's furniture. One that cares about nothing but being by Oni-chan's side.
兄を裏切れと言ってるわけじゃないんだからね。バトラが負けそうになったら全力で助ければいい。
Battler denied the witch's audio.
逆にバトラがベアと追い詰めすぎたら少し加減を変えてあげてほしいと。
Well, Battler doesn't get anything from me and he won't get anything from me because he's not a target of my attention. The only time he gets to be a target of my attention is when I'm dunking him for his dummy takes. And for the only times I'll appreciate giving him a compliment is when he's being nice.
その程度のお願いをしているのよ。大丈夫。バトラを裏切るほどの必要はないわ。バトラ一人じゃベアトには勝てない。だからベルンはあんたを送り込んだんでしょ。
Battler is too stupid to defeat Beato alone, I guess.
手を貸さない限り、バトラは永遠にベアトには勝てない。ね、とっても簡単でしょ。
You okay? Your throat is going a little bit off here. Man, thanks. But it also looks like a good spot to end for today, because I can't keep reading much more. Hold on, let me go to the bathroom again. Like, jeez. Okay. Yep, I do think it's a good spot to end for here. I almost got 3 hours of stream too, so it's a little bit of a shorter one. But I also shouldn't push my I shouldn't push my throat more than I already have. I mean, I didn't push it very hard today, but I shouldn't accidentally push it more than I have. So yeah, this looked like a very good segue to stop for today, so... No, not... Go back to the main menu. Title back. And let's go back to the main chat. And... Otsukare, thank you! I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, even if it was a shorter one. But like I said, my throat is still not in 100% condition, so I still have to take it easy. And I couldn't yell much today or read a bit louder or more expressive, mostly because I really cannot push my throat at all. Do we have anybody to raid? No, we don't. Okay, then I guess I'll just end the stream for today without raiding anybody. Okay, rest well. Thank you. I will. And I won't be streaming this Thursday because I'll be preparing for Easter and I'll be gone for the weekend. But I'll be back next week on Tuesday as well as Thursday. So streaming will continue as usual. And they might continue being shorter streams for a good while. But yeah, I'll be seeing you guys next week, and I'm already wishing you all a happy Easter in advance. Bye bye, ciao, good night.